Yes. Oh. All right. All right. So we were working on the screen designs and flow. Yeah, I realized after the meeting we can also use frames.
Oh, that's
I'm not
easier.
sure. Because I think you can link frames together and you can.
Ah, that's good. That makes sense. Everything that drops under a frame, it's in there. If you put it in there, then it stays there.
Yeah, so if we put like, let's say, put a frame around this. And I think what you can do is
You can drag it.
handle like clicks within the frame and then go to another frame and you can like do like
Oh, I see. You can
what's it
make a
called?
link to another frame.
Yeah, so you can run like a frame and you can see the frame and then you can click on something and you can see a next frame. So you can like
Oh,
simulate
that's
the
very
app.
good.
But I'm not sure if Miro has this in the free version. Yeah, you can present frames as slides. Oh, this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not okay. Well, maybe for another time I can look at that.
But the
Free
frames
time.
can, if you have a frame, can it also be the nodes together? Yeah, you can link frames together so that if you select certain things and then they come automatically a frame.
Yeah, and we can also name the frame, which is also
Oh, that's
quite
good.
useful.
Yeah, that's good. Then we don't need the thing on the side.
Yes, yes.
That's a good idea.
So,
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's not do that now because it's just takes
No,
up.
but that's later. We can do that.
Yeah, I can do that sometime next week. All right. So what I wanted to do today was design a menu and go through the flow of the screen. So we can either just copy paste all the screens. We should have one that we can copy paste. Because these are have a small button. I changed the button on the left. Right, let me just wait. Can I copy this one with the frame? Yeah.
Yep. That works.
Yeah, you can just drag the frame, which is also quite nice.
Yes,
All right.
that's nice.
Okay, frames are great. I think I'm just gonna delete the other ones here.
Yeah.
There's nothing much in there anyway, so just delete that.
So Louis joined us, but he doesn't seem to be. I saw him joining, but not extra.
Yeah, I see it now. He's also in the Miro.
Good morning, by the way.
Hello.
Good morning, Louis.
You okay, Louis?
Yes, hang on a second. No,
Sounds a little bit sleepy, but
yeah, I'm fine. Just okay, here's the video. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, my camera, I've got bright sunshine right into my eye.
I can see that.
I'm inside.
I can
see. So I was gonna turn it off to speak. Yes. Use alt.
Okay, we already started, Louis.
Yeah, I realize that.
And thank you for all the work on the GPS and what you done. There was a lot of work I noticed.
It's become an obsession.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It's nothing bad to have an obsession too. It's a good obsession to have, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lines, you make the lines different. Yeah, that's different color. That's good.
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
go
just
back
making
into.
a little template that we
Yeah.
can just copy paste.
Yeah, that makes it much nicer.
Okay. So I'm just gonna follow from the Miro instead of the screen capture.
Yeah, that's better. The screen capture is just for the YouTube
Oh yeah, the
Recording
record.
for
Yeah.
other people,
the
yeah.
recording. Yes. All right. Yeah. So we were discussing what we can do today, which is like make a quick version of each screen and talk about the flow between the screens and the menu, and also like the different modes, different like scenarios that we had. So let's say you continue without an SD card, like what do the buttons then look like? Things like that we should be discussing. And also the simple and advanced mode. We talked about that 2 months ago. But yeah, we can, I don't know, we had some ideas like we can drop the menu and just have like a toggle button for the simple mode, but I'm not sure. We'll have to discuss that. So right now I made a simple template for the screen. I can just copy paste it.
Okay.
Oops, I copied everything. Wait.
Yeah, maybe we do all together. Maybe that's confusing.
I'll just
Wait.
move out of the way here.
Yeah, let me move out of the way too. Then Jella can
There
work.
is there's something with this. I don't know. Is this locked?
Could be.
Oops. Wrong button. Long press to unlock. Okay. Oh. Yeah, this is kind of weird. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna delete this for a second because it got stuck in the frame of the template.
Hmm.
And it was like 2 times as wide as the other
Yeah.
as the what you
No,
could
no,
see.
that's fine. And we can do that later. To clean up.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So it's this little template, and then yeah, we can all just like, pick a mode and copy paste some screens,
Mhm.
and then like just fill in some templating, like naming the frame.
Mhm.
So we got all the screens like in the workboard.
Mhm.
All right. I'll do like fixed mode. Then we have, I don't know, subscreens, fixed mode. Not sure. I'm just gonna not do that. What other screens did we have?
Oh, drive mode? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, config, survey, drive, fixed, and the log viewer. Whoop. Log viewer. All right. This was the template. Right, and then the config mode as well. So these are the operational modes. And then we got some config mode, log viewer. All right. Right, and then we have the menu as well.
Yeah.
So what do we want to do with the menu?
The idea of a really gotta find myself. The idea of a long press makes a lot of sense to bring up options.
Yeah, I think so.
So,
A
right,
long press on a button.
on no, well, to switch screens, just a single click on the button, but to bring down to bring up options, especially if it's a you know, if it's a choice between multiple settings, bring the long press and then just, you know, click the one that you're really interested in. Let me just zoom in here and catch up with you guys. I was looking at the previous stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh right, this
Yeah, the stuff at the top left.
yeah, the dry parts. Yeah, so we have like multiple operational modes and then a config mode and a log viewer.
Yep.
But a long press would that be different from like the menu button? Like we would always have a menu button. What was
That's
it?
right. For the okay, so if the menu button is always consistently in the same spot, then I guess no, the long press doesn't make sense. It only makes sense if you're
I
trying to
think
choose.
the long press makes sense. If you press it a long time, it sees the whole structure, I think. Then you can display an let's say, and if you're lost, you press it long, then you can see, okay, the screens are this way, that way, that way, that way. I mean, that's a visual, let's say, layout of the
Right, so it's like a built-in help.
yeah, kind of built-in, very simple built-in help. So you can see, okay, we have
Yes.
drop mode, and
Yeah,
I
we
that's
can.
personally, that's my feeling, but
Yeah, we can also have an option in the menu which says help or
that's true too.
overview help, like a long press. Where would we explain that a long press does something different instead of
Mm,
just pressing and seeing the menu and getting and seeing the option there? And I mean, we can always do like a long press. We go there directly.
that's true. If first, let's make an option first, and then later we do a long press or something like that, where we can display it.
Right.
Hmm.
Did we discuss on the position of the menu button? Because I think last week we mentioned if you open the case, your thumb, if you're right-handed,
Yeah, that's true. Being honest, the
would be on
menu
the
should
right
be on the
side.
right. Then, if we think about that, I think.
Well,
So
I
the
think it
first
should
one.
be on the left actually, because the right would be where you
Ah,
interact
that's
with the
true.
current mode. Right?
The action button, really.
Yeah, so right is like an action, like submit or like start something, start logging, stop logging, and then the right one would be go to the menu.
And the middle one
The
would
left one,
be,
sorry. Right,
and the middle
Yep.
one would be like,
An additional button
yes.
for the
Mhm.
screen. So the middle and the right button would be for the current screen, and the left one would always be a menu.
Yes, I think so. That makes
All right.
sense.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good to me too.
Yeah,
And then
for a left-handed person, I've got one in front of me. So for the left-handed person, let's see if I can turn the camera back on.
yeah, how would the
Sunshine.
left-handed person hold?
So the way I'm holding it is, I don't know if you can see in the camera. So is I'm putting my hand over top, and then the thumb is here. So, right, because otherwise the case gets in the way.
Right.
So I can't really think of. Yeah, I think just over top?
No,
You sort of grab it?
we don't
I
have to think
wonder.
about it, I think, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
bGeigieZen is basically designed for right-handed people.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
also a left-handed person would hold it with the left hand, I guess, and then
Yeah,
or
but the idea is that with the left hand, see my palm here is holding the case, from the cover keeps from
Hmm.
flapping, and then I've got the everything, and then my right hand is doing the support. So I don't know
right.
if you can.
But
so-
then it doesn't really matter because you have access to all the buttons. It's
oh yeah, you
like it's
still have access to all the buttons.
well,
And
easy access, but it's
yeah,
more like for the right-handed, you would hold
yeah,
it in your right hand, and then you can still use your thumb, your right hand
right.
thumb.
So for right-handed, I'm holding it with my left hand, and that keeps the case, like the cover from flapping around, and then I can,
Yeah.
and if it's
yeah,
Now,
that
I
I
would
makes
can-
hold it like this with my
Yeah.
this is my right hand,
right.
and I could
Yeah.
like use
Yeah, one-handed operation, yes.
yeah.
So for
right.
left-handed, again, it's a little bit more awkward. Um,
Yeah, well,
y-
too
yeah,
bad for left-handed people. No, but
that's
it will always be awkward for one of one of
One of
the
them,
for
yes.
yeah, for one or the other. Uh,
still. I think having the menu on the left button would
yes,
make the
that
most.
that really, on the left-hand side, that's well, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so
It doesn't really matter.
okay,
We could have like a left-handed config to switch all the buttons around, which is
well,
quite easy to do.
the case supports it.
That's true.
The
Well, not with
just
the
the number would
yeah.
be upside down. That's all.
Oh yeah, you can take out the rubber. Oh yeah, it
No, you
would
don't
be
even need to take out the rubber because the
Oh.
rubber doesn't have the hole anymore.
It
no,
doesn't.
but
There
the
you go.
wireless charger would well,
True. The yeah, it's still
Yeah,
down
but then
here
you
under
have
the
to put
patch.
it back in another way. So that,
Yeah, forget it.
well, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's fun to think about them.
I think we're no. I think we're. I think. I think we just discussed it enough, and we'll just move on.
Right.
We could also make an option for rotating the screen. That would be nice if people have a different ways to look at it. So if they, for example, mount it on a car on the side instead of this way, instead of that way, then we can the display will be flipped. But
Okay, we'll put that.
it's not so important.
We'll put that as an enhancement request.
Yes.
I think we need to get. I think we just need to get started first place.
Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Or wait. Yeah, I'm just adding some text in the menu view for the button. So I would say like clicking the same button as the menu button would just go back to the mode which you were in, the screen. And then the middle one would like move the menu down if we keep the implementation of like scrolling through the menu options, which we currently have. And then the main action button, which would always be on the right, would enter the screen.
Yes, that makes sense.
Right. Okay, that's cool. And we would still have like the
icons there and
the icons on the bottom.
the other.
We can even have the current screen name in there as well.
Or you can have the time there too if you want to. But
yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, something like that. Makes it more like an phone app.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we have like a drive mode, survey mode. I don't know. I'm just gonna copy paste this. Fixed. Log viewer. All right.
Yeah.
something like this.
That makes sense.
And then we can have, oh wait, we also have the
Wait,
help.
the help. Yes, that's important one.
Very important.
Yes, that's a very important one.
And we can have like just
Is it hard also to change the color? For example, if we select an item, so or invert.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
that we can. It's already
Oh yeah, the
used as
graphics
well.
the graphics supports that, no problem.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're currently on the current version, if you open the menu, you already have like
I saw that.
currently used yellow or orange, or
Yeah.
I think it's orange. Yeah, but we can decide on the colors at some point. Just a small change. So, and we can have like a little description box, like a tooltip.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea. Yes.
Like in the current version, I added like a small bar at the bottom with a small text. But
No,
can
I
have,
think
like,
it's
more
nicer
text.
like that. You have much more
Right.
space, and also because the bottom will be taken up by the icons anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. But it was just the current version had that because I don't know, it was an overlay, so I just added it to the bottom. But it's nice to have on the side, I think.
Yeah, and then maybe even a line to it if that's possible. A line to the
What?
drive mode or something like that. So the text.
Oh, I see.
Oh, like something
Yeah,
like this.
something like that. Yeah, then you can directly see
Okay.
this is linked to that. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
One idea. This is. And maybe make that frame also yellow that you can see is active.
Oh, yeah.
Though,
That's
what
now
you
we're
think?
talking. There we go.
Yeah, then it's very clear. This is that part. That's what you're working on, and then the text in white. Yeah.
Yeah. And just put a little
Yeah,
a little placeholder.
Yeah, we can add
Yeah.
descriptions at some point.
Yeah, we can wordsmith that later.
How would you call that? Wordsmith?
Wordsmith.
Oh, wordsmith.
Wordsmith.
That's interesting. The first time I heard it.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So this would then be the menu. And then if you enter a new screen, you would go to one of these main screens, like the landing screens of each mode. Let's see.
I think for this recording we have about 5 more minutes. So later, if we have to stop, then Jelle can probably take over the recording.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. What's the next?
Next is in the what do we want in the drive mode? I think the menu is done.
In the drive mode. Yes. Okay. So the drive mode. How many? Okay. So we have the buttons. What kind of things do we want in the buttons? Because there's like a start log. I think that's.
Yeah.
Start log.
So would that button toggle if you're logging would be a stop log? Okay.
Yeah, I think we should then just copy this.
And then a stop log. Yeah.
So basically toggle on, toggle off.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
And how do we confirm it that it's recording? That is also a good maybe good icon if you can see the SD card, let's say blinking if it does something.
Blinking or just green.
Yeah.
Perhaps I don't know how much room we have on the screen, because we show the CPM and we show some data. I'm not sure what the idea is, but we can also have like a text like currently logging or something. That
Yeah.
it's a very
Yeah.
clear
Oh,
indication of.
no, I think if you have text, it's not a quick indication. If you see that is some icon is colored, that is very quick to see.
Is there room on the bottom row for an SD card icon?
I think so.
Yeah, there should be.
We
And then-
were planning for that.
Yeah, and then
You
just
can
keep it
see that
basically,
it's-
you know, a neutral color while it's not logging, and then just make it highlight green, or maybe, you know, a little bit larger, maybe, or something like
Yeah.
that, to show that it's logging.
Yeah.
Then we can also
Um,
show that with that icon, you know, if it turns red or something, that like there's a problem, it's full, or there's been a write error or something like that.
Yeah, but I think if we have
Mm,
errors, it's might be better to just show them on the screen.
Yes, I
because
think
Yeah.
having a right icon
if it's
or
and
something.
if it's an SD card and you see a red color, I would assume it's writing to it, and green is reading. But that's
Oh,
my
I see.
personal feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how easy it is to implement it like that, because reading is basically instant.
Yes.
Yeah, unless we have like a tracker, like is the SD card being called to write or to read? I think we discussed this last week as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
and toggle. It's
Um,
read correctly.
yeah, because in one cycle it could read something as well as write something. Like
Yeah.
one worker reads something and a handler writes something. Like, which color do you then show? No.
Right.
Uh,
Well, I think in the context of logging, the icon should be just letting you know that the log file is healthy,
That's
as
true.
opposed to worrying about, you know, like an activity like a disk drive light. It's more, you know, since that's what
Yeah, this
you know,
is the
the main
status.
purpose of the device.
That's true. The status is more important than the actual reading and writing. That's I agree.
Right. So the other thing is, if you don't have if you don't have a GPS and you're not actually don't have any valid data to write, I think you need to have some sort of an indication that this is that's the case when you start log. Maybe just a message saying, you know, well, you'll see number of satellites is 0. You know, the time is unavailable and so on.
But if the satellite is 0, the satellite icon should be red. It's that simple.
True.
yeah, but I think having a text to tell the user that, like, the logging is not it's not logging
Not
valid
available yet.
lines, because I mean the user can see, oh, there's no satellites or an icon is red, then it has to interpret that as, oh, there's something wrong, and I can see it there. But it
Yeah.
might be
So
just easier, because we have like a drive mode screen when it's logging,
Right.
to add like a message to.
Well, so you could have
Just
just a little
directly
status
say it.
message area
Yeah.
just
The
down here.
bottom.
Just so we got the icons here, and that's
Right.
kind of fixed throughout the entire application. But then here you'd have a little status message. So that would be like an area
I like
that we'd
that.
keep reserved, so that, you know, like no screen should be using this unless it's to serve up some sort of a warning or an
It's like
explanation.
one line
Hmm.
you're thinking about.
Yeah, just one line.
Yeah,
It could be
that
one
makes
line.
sense. Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
also use that to say, like, if the logging is like going as intended?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you say,
Sure.
if you start log, then you also get the message like it's
Logging.
currently logging.
Or even,
it's
you know,
not
just number of
logging because
records,
blah, blah.
number of data points logged.
That's also, or what
Yeah.
you can do is also like, if it, I don't know if that's possible with like a banner.
You mean like
Uh,
scrolling back and forth,
Yeah.
like a marquee that just
Yeah,
keeps
that
scrolling?
is active. But that could be complicated. just have to.
Yeah, that's getting a little bit.
I think that's not that difficult,
No,
but
it's
I think
but,
it's
Yeah.
no,
too many
just
moving things on the screen is. I don't know
Yeah.
about that. I
or
think if we
maybe
just have a static
only
message.
simple dots. Dots going ton 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 ton. That is
Nah,
no,
just-
okay. So let's think about it.
I'm not convinced.
I'm not a big fan of the idea. One of the things, just thinking back about colors of. Awesome.
All right. I was just thinking maybe one of us has to share the screen.
Mhm.
Well, if we
you
want to
think
record
that
the meeting, but we're constantly talking about Miro, maybe it's useful if we have one of us sharing the screen.
Oh, good idea. Okay, here, I'll do that. How do we do that? Share screen. There it is. And where whiteboard be? Oh, okay, there it is. Share.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Great.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna hang back.
All right. Rob, are you still in the Miro?
Yeah, I'm still in the middle. Hold a second. Let me go back to it.
I should still be there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're there.
still here.
Okay. So I'll just go put it off to the side.
Yeah, I can see you.
All right. So I was just thinking we can copy paste. And we can just fill in the screens like this.
Mhm.
Yeah, we got a lot of room. We'll just move this to the side. Whoop.
Whoops. Hang on.
Is there a way to group?
I think so. Hold on a second. I think you can group them also.
Hmm.
Let me try
I
that.
don't see an option. Well, I can just select it all, so it's okay. There, something like that. Okay, we can do like survey mode.
Yeah, Control G. You can group them.
Control D.
G.
Oh, G.
G.
Okay. Oh, right. Cool. All right. Can I still edit this? Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Good.
Fixed. Stationary. I don't know. Okay, so we have like some screens now. Always nice. Or we could just start with the very first set of screens.
Mhm.
Yeah, do we if we go to this Dryo, I think this on the right side, the latest idea of the screen flow. Is there anything that we want to change to these?
No, basically, I think that was a good idea to have it like that.
Yeah, so to have these 5 like startup screens,
Mhm.
and then like the 4 main screens or 5 main screens, which is the config mode, survey mode, drive mode, fixed mode, and
The config
No, this was the log viewer.
at the log viewer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
that's true.
Okay. Yeah, and we can make like buttons. Like some views have like less buttons. Like this one might only have one.
So
Yeah,
if the buttons, there's only one button on that screen, you just erase the label or just hide the button entirely.
yeah. If the text is empty on the button, it doesn't render the button,
Okay.
and then the on click or the touch doesn't do anything because well the screen doesn't handle the event
Right.
then for that button. So yeah, that's already implemented as well, by the way. Okay, I'm moving back to the screens. So do we want a boot screen?
We should have an option for the boot screen or not, if people want it or not. I prefer not, but I can imagine some people want it. For me,
Yeah,
it's like,
I kind of like the boot screen, but
It doesn't have to be long.
even a second, I think it should be on. That's it. I'm not gonna wait for other things.
a 1 second boot screen, that's okay, right?
Nah, I prefer even nothing.
Nothing. Okay, you prefer the 1 second black screen.
Wait a minute.
Switch on, it goes on, and that's it.
Yeah,
That's
no, we don't need a boot screen. That's true.
No, I think so.
Uh,
If we need to wait for something, yes, then we can make a boot screen. But as this ESP32 is fast enough to do anything in a few milliseconds. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I think what we can do if we don't have a boot screen, we should like incorporate some things on the screens themselves, like the Safecast logo or like that it is a bGeigieZen. Like if you turn it on to see what program is running, I guess.
yeah, you can
Like, what is this device? Oh, it's bGeigieZen.
For me, that's even not necessary. I would
No,
have that
yeah,
as
that's true. Like I don't know how necessary that is. So
because if you use it often, it's just like switch it on. It should be on like a light bulb, more or less.
yeah,
It
you
should-
already have the device in your hand, of course. So
I mean, you could always
Yeah.
have an icon, like way down in the bottom, the icon on the leftmost part of the bar would just be the logo,
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like
Yep.
that.
and
Yeah.
then and then it's there. Just
And then if you click on it, you see the information from the device. I like-
yeah, that's for the core 2 then. We can make something like that. And we should also
Yeah.
have a version. Or
Yes,
maybe we
version
can
and
have it
all
at the
this.
bottom, like bGeigieZen.
Yeah, I would even make an not a button, but an icon, a simple icon that you click on it, you can see.
yeah, I think that's best because otherwise we're going to run out of space on
Yes,
the status bar. We have battery, satellite,
there's a light. We
time.
the maybe the disk, how much it filled up, the SD card, something like that. Could we have an icon on it that if it's right to the CD to the SD card, it shows for example, a red icon, and if it's reading a green icon, so you can see that the data goes to the SD card.
Yeah, that's possible.
Activity light. Yeah.
Yeah, activity light, that will be very useful, I think, because on the bGeigie Nano, you could just see on and off of the open log.
Oh yeah, the little pulse on the open log. The also network status.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think SD card is well we could do that, but it's like either 1 frame, which is too fast to really see, or it has to be like a refresh rate thingy. Well, I guess it kind of depends because there's one moment where the SD card has written something to the or the device has written something to the SD card. Then it will say like, oh, this handler has completed this action successfully. So we know, oh, this is the SD card writer, so we can make this icon green. But the next time it renders, it will be like idle, so it will not be green anymore. So, and that could
Like
be
that opens up a whole can of worms about timed events like beeps. In other words,
right.
the timed event like a beep or that flash in the status bar would be triggered by the action, and then something else takes over to shut it down at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what we
Yes.
could do is we could just show like a SD card icon green if it is successfully writing to it, but then it's always green. That's not
I
really
would do red writing to it and green reading.
And then just dark for idle.
Yeah, dark for idle. It doesn't do anything. So it's only the activity of the SD card that makes sense to me. It's like a hard disk. You can see what is going on. On the
Yeah,
Mac, you can't see
although
anything. So it's
I don't
like
think reading is really.
it can be useful too to see if the SD card reads or not. Sometimes that's I think, yeah, very useful.
How would you even do that? Like, how would we save that it had read something? There's no, well, as in the framework that we used, we would have like a worker or something that checks if the SD card had written or not. I guess that's we can make a worker for that specific thing. Like it's just a small thing that checks the SD card wrapper status, and we can also say there's new data because it's not writing anymore. Or
Yeah.
and then we can do the timing handling in that little worker.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. And then it changes the colors. Yeah.
Yeah, and then in the wrapper we would have like last write, last read, and then we can do some base it on that basically.
Can we do something similar or a clone of this worker to do the same for the network? So you make one basically check worker of the worker checking. So it displays the how to say
Like if there's something sent to the API.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
just a network status like you're connected or not.
No, I think when something is sent to the API, that's what you want to know.
Yeah, but
activity.
that's basically the API connector that's sending data. And then if that if the handling was like the status data was sent, then we can just make it green or something, and then the next cycle will be gray again or white.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, it shows up red. Can we have a, let's say, call back that if you can see if it's really written, and you get an ID number, for example, from the API?
Yeah, we can. That's the thing with the SD card logging file names. Oh no, wait, this is for the fixed mode, you mean?
Yes, fixed mode where. So you basically is that but you have to modify the API to send back an acknowledgement. Is that what happens right now?
I think for fixed mode we can just use the contents on the screen, perhaps instead of like doing things with icons in the bottom, because we have a whole screen to work with in fixed mode.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's think about that, because in fixed mode you also wouldn't mind to have the screen off.
Yeah,
really,
that too. Yeah, and that's the only screen that you really connect to the API with. Well, you also have the log viewer when you upload a whole.
Yeah, I think in fixed mode, you probably that's when you implement the blanking as well. So you have the full screen, so you can write. You can display that you're writing activity. You can display status, last value written, all sorts of information, and then after a few seconds it blanks so that we don't get burn-in.
Yes, exactly. That will be wonderful. That's a good idea. I like that. Yeah.
So it blinks, you mean?
Yeah, well, the TFT has a burn-in problem that if you leave it on all the time, it's going to burn in the characters. So the idea is it should, in fixed mode, or even in
mobile mode also in
any
any
mode
mode.
except maybe survey, the screen should blank after, you know, I don't know, so many seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. In my little attempt earlier, it was configurable to, you know, as a 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, and then forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's very useful, I think.
Yeah, we will totally do that. I was just thinking that that would be specific to fixed mode and drive mode then.
Yes.
No, any mode, because sometimes you have it a long time if it doesn't move, then it should go to kind of the display should be on the sleep mode.
If it
So
doesn't
you leave
move, as in based on a GPS then.
or GPS or on the version 3 boards, they will have a motion sensor on it.
Okay.
And with an I2C. So
yeah, but then on the drive mode, you would always have movement, of course.
Yes. So it can. Oh yeah, then yeah, you're right. In the drive mode, you will be able to just.
Well, even in survey mode, you're walking around with it.
But you're driving 24 hours? No, I don't think so. I think only a few hours, so it's not that bad. But the fixed mode is always on, so it's a problem.
Yeah.
So I think in the drive mode, it can always be on. That's fine. I mean, you're not.
Yeah, I think it's okay to just say like the drive mode and fixed mode, the screen will turn off after 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Or like maybe dim and after 30 seconds, and then maybe turn off after, I don't know, 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Then if you press a button or touch the screen,
Yep.
it will like start rendering again, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then for a survey mode, I would just keep it on or something.
Yeah.
Or we can have like a longer timeout, like
or the same timeout, because if you forget about it, it'll blank. You look at it, it's blanked. Okay, you press it, and it comes back. I mean, it's just like a phone.
Yeah. Okay. For survey mode, you can of course like you got it outside of the case, perhaps, so you can easily press a button. So that's true. But normally it would be in the case, of course.
Yeah. Well, you're opening the case and keeping it in the case and just walking around with it.
Right.
No, I don't think people do that. They take it out of the case, because the idea is that the case stops the alpha. So you want to have alpha radiation coming in, so out of the case then.
Yeah, that's true. But then I would say we can have like a longer timeout, like if it's like after maybe 5 minutes or something, we can.
Yeah, something that makes sense.
The screen on
survey mode is different, or maybe just configurable for survey mode so many times timeout, and for drive mode and for
right. Yeah, we can make it configurable, absolutely. But yeah, we need to have some initial values at first, so and then configurable would be like the next step.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is also the things I wanted to talk about. So I'm just gonna copy this sticky note, because I wanna make like a list of configurations.
Mm-hmm.
The sticky notes is really square.
It's always square sticky notes.
Is it? Yeah. No, wait, no. Oh, you can make it like wide.
Oh, you can make it. Yeah. Okay.
How funny. Yeah, but I just want to make it longer, but that doesn't work. That's okay. Wait. All right, so we have configurations. So at like screen dim
timeout.
screen off.
Yep.
Wait, why is it? Just want a different size.
Screen brightness as well, as if we're using the Core
Oh,
2.
wait.
We have that option.
Which one?
Screen brightness in general. That's an option in Core 2.
Yeah. So the
we have-
screen, yeah, that's the dim I was thinking about. So that was like the
brightness. Yeah, okay. Yep.
lower brightness, and then we can turn it off after.
Yep.
I don't like this size of text. I want it smaller.
Let me check it.
Perhaps I can do this. Okay, that works. Yeah, but if we make them configurable, would we have different configurations for drive, survey, fixed? Hello?
Cannot make a list. That doesn't do that.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
Wait. Well, not really. Wait. There we go.
That's easier. That looks better.
Yeah. So do we have different timeouts saved in the configurations for the different
Configurations,
operational modes?
well,
Or do we just have predefined for now? Like, and just skip the configurations?
Yeah, predefined is fine.
we can just add to it as we think of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be the whole fixed mode thing with IP address and
yeah, of course. So that there's
name and all that.
API key and I mean, we can still have these. Well, no, never mind. Well, I mean, we can make everything configurable, of course, but we have to make a choice. Which one will we have in the first version?
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
I think this is
The user maybe.
user what?
The user configurable. The username. For example, on the bGeigieZen Nano, there's a username.
Device
Always.
ID as well.
Device ID, username, and there should be much more later on. For the SD card, you need the conversion rate. You need the many more alarm. What kind of the alarm levels and. Yeah.
I'll just do it like this. And then we have configuration, and then we have configurations SD. Oh. No, wait. So alarm. Well, is it alarm or alert?
Oh, I think it's alarm. I'm
I
not
think so
sure.
too.
I think I remember when I was in Japan, I talked to, what's his name again? Joe?
Yo.
And he said that alarm is like an alarm, and alert is more like, oh, this is getting higher. I'm now more alert, or I want to like I don't know, like the definitions of these words basically, because I also had like the alarm and alert in the bGeigieZ cast. Like if it would be above some threshold, it would send more often to the API, and that would be called alert because it was like more alert, sending more frequently. But what would the alarm do? Is it just a visual change or?
It can also be audible, so because they have a speaker there still. So
Right. But is it then a sound or something or?
you make a sound, and even if people want, I think we should make a click sound too, so you can hear the clicks of the counts coming in.
Right. Yeah.
That's was not implemented yet. I think in the early versions I made that, just a beep in there.
Mm-hmm. I don't think this sticky note is useful for this. I'm just gonna move it to this text. Oh, wait, black. All right. There we go. Okay, so alarm and then clicks.
Yeah, just an on off.
Yeah, but we can have that like in the configs server as well. Well, probably the alarm threshold as well. And then there's the like the Geiger counter configurations that on the SD card, like the tubes or what's that called?
The tube, the conversion rate. There's a lot of other stuff in there. Hold on, let me check that. What is the format? A lot of stuff in there. This is basically what's in there. Hold on, let me get that. I paste it in here. So you can see the format.
All right.
These are all the files in there.
Device ID.
Yeah.
This device ID, that's the gateway and gateway manager. I think gate T. No, that's different. On the that's on the Pointcast. That is the gateway setup.
Oh.
I think it's not there. No, this is for the Nano. So GT, I don't know. Global time? No. There is a time zone also on it.
Yeah, I can see.
Time zone, and then the country, and alarm is AL, or it can be alert alarm. I'm not sure.
Not the A.
AL? I don't see a AL here.
AL
About
in the middle.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. Yeah, that's the alarm then. What is this? CS127?
That's the
That's the
conversion factor. Isn't it?
But shouldn't there be a number?
Sieverts. There was a standard that
Oh,
you
this is the standard.
calibrated to.
It's a conversion rate for the tubes, for the pancake, and you can have that's only for the background and the CPM, the BQ. Then it knows what to do with it. The Becquerel conversion is 37, and the other one is, and they calibrated this
Oh, just say
CPM conversion
N is just
for the name. It's the name.
Just N. Yeah,
Yeah, the name.
just as an indication that you're using cesium 137.
Yeah.
That's all.
Is
That's
it saved on like the logging then, or?
Yeah, it's for logging or for status, or like you're just showing on status.
Okay. Yeah, I think those things should be like just on the SD card. But I think it would be easier if we just have like longer names. Like we don't have memory limitations that much, so we can just use instead of
No,
AL.
yeah, be careful with that because we want to have backward compatible.
Yeah, that's the thing. We talked about it earlier, but that's not really. Well, we can still have it like somewhat backwards compatible, but also like a new config version. Is the time run out
Yes.
again?
Yeah, the problem is with the safeguards.txt, there's a limit. I think there is 256 characters in total is a limit, or 1024.
Yeah, but that's a
Because
limit for the Nano then.
that's for the nano. So, but if you want
Yeah.
to make it backwards compatible, it doesn't work anymore if you have a bigger file. It goes like, oh, I don't know what to
Yeah,
do
but
with that.
you can't use the SD card from the Zen on the Nano anyway, because there's like a different device ID. There's a different, like you need like other configurations for the Zen as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
So that's what we talked about, I think 2 months ago, and we already decided that
Yeah.
there would be no backwards compatibility from the Zen to the Nano.
No.
Though if we want,
Only 4x.
be more.
4x compatible.
In other words, if you put a nano SD card into the Zen, it should pick up that information and then rewrite it in its own format.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking about like having a separate, like a first line which defines like the version, like also the software version that wrote the what
Or
the
config file
config
version.
file, or maybe like the version that you wrote the file for, if you did it by hand. And then we can also have some implementation on the Zen that it can read like older formats. For example, if we have like a new version, we add a few configs, we can just read the file, see, oh, this was from previous versions, so now we have like these and these things
Well, if you
added.
look at the first line, I mean, that's workable, because if you look at the first line and you see it's nm equals
Yep.
safecast, you know you've got an old one. If you see
Yeah,
a
exactly.
VR or ver, right, something or other, then you know it's the newer format, and basically just switch to that mode just based on the first line.
Yeah, I wrote something like version is, or like Zen version is, and then the version number for the safe Zen. I was just writing some things for the SD card read write functions and testing the file creation and reading. But yeah, I'm not set on like a specific format or like the standards yet, but it would be nice if we can just have full names. Like we're not limited to things, but we can read old nano configs this way.
Yeah, you just have to make sure that if somebody sticks in a nano card or any other card, that the device ID doesn't get brought over, that the device keeps its
Yeah,
ID.
that is also true. So yeah, people would have to write a new config file anyways. It's kind of difficult.
Well, I mean, that makes it easier for us. And just create a new config file for your Zen.
Yeah. Well,
And
to be honest, I also, like we discussed like 2 months ago, I renamed the file to the savezen.txt instead of
right.
safecast.txt,
No.
just to avoid reading
Yep.
the wrong file by accident or like having an invalid file. So I'm not too sure about the backwards compatibility or forwards compatibility with the Nano. So we should just write a new file and maybe keep in mind that it might be used for future, like the next Zen version or something. Ah, nice one.
Okay.
But yeah, we could still use these configurations, of course. Just have to write them out. Like I don't know what SM or SH or
Yeah,
SZ.
we can figure that out. I don't know at the moment. I forgot. I used to know them all.
Hmm. GM and GT is
G
GM
T
sounds
the
like
tube type?
Gagamuni. I don't know.
Kijkertube number 0, Kijkertube number 1, or something. You can set it up, I think. But that's for later. It's not so important at the moment.
Yeah, that's true. We can keep this Miro open, of course, and come back to it, add some files or configurations, etc. So that's no issue. This one can go. Well, going back to the designs, got a little bit sidetracked with the configs, but it was a good thing to do because it's important.
Mhm.
How do we want to do this here? This is right when we're talking about the boot screen.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think maybe it's easier to just skip the boot screen.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree.
Instead of bGeigieZen, we can have like 1.0.1 or something, like the version number, and
Yeah,
then
and then there would not even be a button on the first boot screen, I think.
yeah.
If you really want to have a boot screen, then only a logo and a version or something like that, if you want that.
All right, so these are icons.
Mhm.
Something. Based like smileys here. I don't know. All right. So we have like a Safecast logo, and then a version, and then an SD card logo, and a Wi-Fi logo. Icons, I mean, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, your Wi-Fi would be starting up already there? I'm not sure.
Well, how
Mm,
about
On the
satellites
boot
as well?
screen.
yeah, you're right. Oh, right. Yeah, I was just thinking this is like the.
If it's a boot screen, you will not have that.
Oh,
It
I
doesn't
thought you were
have
talking about just the regular.
Yeah,
No, the
I
regular
was
you
more.
will have that.
I was talking about the more regular, like we already
Oh,
covered.
okay.
this one
Then I make mistake.
before.
Yeah.
No, it's no problem.
So now we need satellites.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
number
Or,
of
this will
or
be
satellites.
just an indicator that you have GPS.
Yeah, that's
Right,
a good one.
so let's say a little satellite logo, and it's it's bright yellow when you have lock or fix, and then grayed out if you don't. Something fairly
Yeah.
simple. Or number, I don't know, number of satellites. That's hard to read, and what does it tell you?
Yeah, but you can make like I have on the Zen. If it's more than 5, it turns green, and if it's less than 5, it's red.
Okay, yes. And then if you
Hmm.
don't have lock at all, then it just goes gray.
Yeah,
Yeah, three
that's a
colors.
good idea. And but being honest, I don't think your version you need to be on the screen. I mean, if this is a boot screen, yeah, you could have, but
No, I was thinking about it, like the version always being there. That was
no,
the thing.
don't need that. That's not important for people to use
That
it.
is absolutely true. It's not important.
Okay, so quickly
It's
that
important for us, but not for other people
But
who use it.
there's still not a boot screen. I don't know what would this
Yeah,
screen be? Like that. Okay, let's say this is the first time.
general screen. Yeah,
No, this is the first time boot screen. Like
oh,
if you
okay.
have a clean Zen, no configurations in your local memory, but there's an SD card which has like the config file. So it's basically someone ordered a Zen, got a Zen. There's an SD card with the configurations provided, and they turn on the device. They get the first screen, and it would look like this. There's no bar at the bottom. Then we don't have things here.
yeah.
The There might be one button with start or something. Continue, something like that. We could just remove these buttons.
And then you have to display something.
Yeah. So we have like a text and it says, welcome to your bGeigieZen. I don't know, something like that.